Hey guys, Renata Sander here from MeetAdvisors.com, and I'm joined with Michael Krauss, President of Market Strategy Group, or Marketing.
Market Strategy Group. You got it right. Well done. Well done. Stay with it. Keep it rolling. I'm having a good time.
Okay.
So the name counts. That's important. Get the name right. That's one of the things in marketing we care about. So,
Just one.
but you got my name right, so that's great. So it's nice to be here today. How can I help? What would you like to talk about?
Well, you. So.
It's a boring story.
So tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay, so I run a boutique management consulting firm. We do a lot of marketing strategy, especially on the business side. But I thought for today I'd also mention that I grew up in packaged goods, and I'm kind of an eclectic person. When I was a brand manager at Keebler, which is now part of Kellogg's, I used like to say I was much shorter then. I lived in a hollow tree. I had one of those funny hats, and I brought out the #2 chocolate chip cookie, Chips Deluxe, and I migrated from there to technology, chocolate chips to computer chips, and it's been a great ride. And marketing's just a fascinating place to be, and I love what I do. So I'm glad to talk about it.
It's always a plus. It's definitely very important to love what you do and not just do it for the sake of doing it.
But it's gotten so complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought today, as we chatted, marketing used to be so simple when I was in the hollow tree. I mean, we had a great advertising agency at the time. It was Leo Burnett. They came up with the Keebler Elves. We had a great product. We had a great sales force. It was easy. Television advertising, great product, good sales organization. Today, with social media, with social, mobile, analytics, cloud computing, I don't know where I began.
Yeah, when does it stop, right?
Yeah.
So, kind of talking about that change, what do you think, well, first of all, how do you feel has it changed? So the evolution of marketing, especially now in 2014, as you mentioned, everything is digital, and so can you tell our audience a little bit about that?
I mean, I think it's two things. Complexity, which I mentioned. As marketers, we have to deal with a lot more complexity. I think the job is frankly a lot harder. And I think the other challenge is we can't advertise or communicate at the customer. We have to be totally authentic. And I think you'll hear a lot of people sitting in this chair say, marketers have to be authentic, we have to be real, our brands have to be real, because there's no place to hide it. You can't just sell a bad product. It's got to be a great product, a great brand, and you got to have a real purpose behind it. But keep going. What else do you want to know?
I want to know it all.
All right, well.
So actually, I want to kind of touch on SEO for a little second, especially because SEO has changed so much. Just that specific search engine optimization, if you guys didn't know. But can you kind of tell us how has that changed and evolved from even back 2 years ago, 5 years ago, till what it is now?
Well, I think I won't say that I'm an expert on SEO, but I know that I would, as a marketer, I'm going to want the best experts to work for me on SEO, and it's really to me about precision lately. I think that you can optimize your site, you can be a lot more precise. You don't want to have waste. You want to get the right eyeballs to your site, and so I think we can target more effectively in SEO. But I'm not the technical expert. I'm kind of the C-suite generalist.
All right.
So I would probably hire you to be the SEO expert and tell me.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
So can you kind of tell us a little bit about what you do at just in general?
So basically, a Market Strategy Group. I've grown up. I held some senior marketing positions in leading professional services organizations. So Anderson Consulting, I held a leadership role there. Professional technology services, strategy services. I was the chief marketing officer of Diamond Technology Partners, also a services firm. I kind of love the services business. I moved from chocolate chips into technology, but I particularly like the services businesses because, I think whether it's real estate services, architecture and engineering services, advertising services, medical services, I think there's something really interesting there, but I don't know how broad an area that is of interest to your customers and to the audience here, but that's the area I focus on these days. I want to help clients. Whether I was just out with a group of architects and engineers talking about how do they build their business. real estate services providers, Jones Lang LaSalle. I mean, how do they build their businesses? That's exciting to me.
And how do you help them build their businesses? Can you give an example?
Well,
or a few?
Sure. I mean, my number one, I put up a slide not long ago at a conference, and I said, there are three kinds of marketers. There are sales enablers. That was kind of strawberry ice cream. Mm-hmm. There's chocolate ice cream. There are those marketers who know about packaging and communications, and that was chocolate ice cream. And I think vanilla ice cream was kind of those that are kind of really strategy oriented and profit and loss oriented. I think one of the big challenges companies have is they don't know what flavor ice cream, what flavor of marketer they want or they need. So one of the things I do is I work with companies and try and help them figure out what kind of marketing do they need. And often they need sales enablement, but then they might hire somebody in marketing who's very good at developing communications tools, and there's a misfit. So one of the things I enjoy is helping organizations figure out what kind of marketing investments do they need to make, what kind of marketing organization do they need? Do they need strawberry, chocolate, vanilla?
And can you tell our audience maybe a little example of, you don't have to say the company name, but someone that you really helped that became successful?
Wow.
And how you helped them.
Did I? Well, it's all about metrics these days. So, obviously I've got to keep the clients confidential here, but I think most of what we do is help our clients really understand their buyers and their customers. If let's say you're an architecture engineering firm, a real estate firm, or a technology firm, and you've just bid on a $100 million project, and you didn't get it. Now there were probably 6 bidders, but the client is probably going to tell you, just so you don't feel bad, you were a close second. But the truth is you were number 6 and you don't know why. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I think we add a lot of value on is we go in and do win-loss assessments, and we help our clients understand why they really won, why they really lost. Mm-hmm. Now that's not high tech. I mean, that's very qualitative and insightful, but I think that's one of the places where we add a lot of value, is helping people understand why did they win, why did they lose, and not just settle for that, I was a close second. Right. Because oftentimes you hear that and it may not be the truth.
And one question that I want to ask you is, how did you get to where you are today? And if you could go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice, right when you're starting your career, what would it be? Well,
I think that at different stages in your career, there are different traits that matter most. I think that it's a combination of industriousness, willingness to work. I mean, I think there are a lot of bright people out there. I think there are a lot of talented people out there. I think the two things that really count are industriousness and likability. Mm-hmm. And I think that sometimes people don't realize that just being smart alone, that's necessary but not sufficient. You got to really work hard at it, and you really have to get along with people. So if there's one thing that I think I've learned over the years, is it's that combination. I'm sure I was a bit of a bull in the china shop early on, and I would go back and say, hey Michael, you got to be likable if you're going to win in this business. And it's a lesson that I learned, and I work at every day, and it's really important. So if I were talking to young marketers and in my columns for Marketing News, I try to offer advice from other C-suite executives, and my guidance is, work hard, you got to be smart, you got to get along with people and be likable.
That makes sense, and that's definitely true. People want to be able to connect with you and really trust you, and the way that they can trust you is if they're able to connect and if they're likable, whoever they're talking to. So I definitely agree with that.
Oh, good. Well, good.
And if people want to find out more about you and connect with you, where can people find you?
Well, they can go to our website. I'm sure they can contact you, but it's www.mkt-strat.com. And it's my first name dot last name, Michael.Krauss at mkt-strat.com. All right, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
All right.
And for more videos and blogs, please check out meetadvisors.com. Thank you.
Thanks.